Hi everyone, it's Robin and welcome back. I'm so happy you stopped by. Today I am answering your questions. So for the past few weeks I have been taking Wednesdays to answer your questions about decor items, about things that I do around the house, about my family, all that sort of stuff, and I am having so much fun with it. So we're just going to keep rolling with this. Every single Wednesday I will answer your questions, as long as there are questions to be answered. So if you have any questions about my life in general, about my family, leave those in the comments below. And also, my favorite kind of questions are decorating questions. If you have any idea about my personal style in decorating, how I go about decorating, anything decorating wise, or if you are stuck on something in your own home, like you have an area in your house that you're having some difficulty figuring out what to do with, leave it in the comments below. Let me try to maybe give you a little inspiration or a little bit of a jumping off point so that you can create something that you absolutely love. So let's go ahead and get into the questions for this week. Alright, so Creative Laurie asks, what are your top 5 YouTubers for decor and inspiration? So I have a few people that I like to follow, and I'm always on the lookout for more people to follow. So if you have any suggestions, make sure you leave them in the comments below for me to check out. I know the question asks for top 5, but I have like a top 6 of people that I always watch and I enjoy their videos. And the dogs are going crazy in the background. I apologize. So the first person that I like to watch is Momma from Scratch. Now, she is I love her channel so much because she is like the queen of the dollar store, and I am so jealous of the things that she can find in her dollar store and use to create beautiful things for her home. The dollar stores that I go to are just terrible. They don't have half the stuff that she shows that they have, and I don't know if it's that I don't get there enough to find the good stuff, or it's just they don't have it at mine. I don't know, but I'm always so jealous of the things she finds. But yeah, I love her style. She has that farmhouse kind of look, or kind of like farmhouse boho look going on right now in her home, and it's very beautiful, and I love watching her videos. The next person I like to watch is Dainty Diaries. Now, Dainty Diaries is a little more cottage and maybe like shabby chic, but what I like about her channel is that she is very, her decorating style is not over cluttered. It has a lot of white space to her decorating, and she's pretty much honed into what she likes, and I enjoy that a lot. Also, she has the most fantastic accent that I get sucked into just listening to her talk. She could talk, she could read the telephone book or a dictionary, and I would be sucked in. It's just, I love her accent so much. So Dainty Diaries is another one, and she has a lot of great ideas for decorating her home, and she likes to go on little shopping trips and then show you the stuff that she goes on to. I really loved her Christmas shopping trip that she did at the beginning of December. That was really fun. So she has a lot of different things on her channel, and I really enjoy her channel. The next person I watch a lot is Frugal Farmhouse. Frugal Farmhouse is an awesome blog. She does a lot of thrift store shopping. Also, we collect a lot of the same things, like ironstone, but one of her collections that she has is dog prints, and I am just obsessed with her collection of like vintage dog prints. I love it so much. And the thing that I like about Frugal Farmhouse is also her style of decorating is very minimalistic, and I really enjoy that look. So yeah, I enjoy her channel. I love watching her thrift store finds, and she always has great ideas for you know, things to make. Her craft ideas and that sort of thing are always like spot on for me, and I love everything she does. So I love her channel a lot. The next channel that I watch quite a bit is the Pare family vlogs. Oh my goodness, if you have not seen this channel yet and you're into farmhouse decor and you love like vintage items and just like a lot of stuff, and just like I don't know how to describe it. This lady has a knack for finding the most amazing pieces of vintage items in a whole range of things, from like ironstone to like wood cutting boards, and yeah, the things she finds and how she displays them are just never-ending inspiration for me. So I love her vlogs, and I love her decorating. When she does house tours, I'm just like, oh my goodness, and I like watch them like 3 times. So I love Pare Family Vlog. She is amazing. So the next YouTube channel that I watch quite a bit is by O Maniac, and this is another YouTube channel who does a lot of, like, you know, making things for her house, and she loves the farmhouse style, and she's got just so good at putting together displays and making her rooms like flow together. I'm in awe of her skill in that department. Hey, stop. Hey, no, that's my basket. Where's your bone? Dog is chewing on my basket in the I don't know, I don't understand. Okay, sorry about that. So anyways, O Maniac. O Maniac? O Maniac, yeah. So anyways, as I was saying, she also has a ton of like vintage collections, and she has she finds awesome things to use in her house, and she has such good ideas on how to display things and put things together. And she just has so many awesome ideas. I can't get enough of her channel either. So I check that channel out also. And then the last channel that I watch a lot is Keri Murphy. Keri is another farmhouse style lover, as am I. And she has so many great ideas, and her home is so lovely, and her porch, her front porch, oh my goodness, is gorgeous. I am so jealous of that front porch. And she has got this amazing like red wagon that she puts on her front porch, and she dresses it up for the different seasons, and I'm just like, oh, I'm like wiping my chin off from all the drool that's falling as I watch her videos. Oh man, I just love it. And then once again, she is like one of the sweetest people ever, and she's got great ideas for home decor. And once again, she has that sort of understated, not overly decorated look to her home, which I appreciate so very much. And then of course she loves her vintage items as well as I do, and the farmhouse style. So check out her channel if you have not yet, because she is pretty amazing. So those are the top 5 or top 6 of YouTubers that I love to watch for decor inspiration. But I also have 2 little bonus ones to share with you. One is the gentle, thrifty Momma. I've been watching her for a while now, and I absolutely love her style. I love her thrift store hauls, and she's just seems like such a nice lady. And so I like watching her. I like to watch her channel also for inspiration. But she has more of a modern look to her home. I don't know how I would describe it. Almost like a retro modern look to her room. And I think it is so cool. And the things that she puts in her home and she makes for her home are very, very cool. So I enjoy her channel, even though her style is completely different than mine. It is exciting to watch. That is a good channel to check out. And then another channel that I just happened upon not too long ago is, I'm going to probably say this really wrong, I apologize, is Hannica Rosine. I don't know, I'm terrible at names, I'm so sorry. But I'll make sure to link it below. I just found this channel, I want to say a couple weeks ago. It was one of those recommended views that that you get on YouTube, and she does a lot of thrifting. Her latest videos have been a couple like really cool thrift store shopping excursions, which she has found some really cool stuff. At the end of all of her thrifting trips, she'll show you what she picked up at each thrift store, and then sometimes she'll show you how she styled it, or she'll put it into another video. And I just love it so much, because I love thrifting so much, and it's fun to watch other people and find what they are like and what they're looking for and what they're bringing home. And I just like that, because I think a few of my collections have started that way. Watching somebody else find something, I'm like, ooh, I really like that. So then I'll start looking for something like that also. So anyways, if you like thrifting and you like watching how people use their thrifted items in their home or how they make them over, definitely check out this channel, Hannica Rosine. I'm sorry, I totally said it wrong. I'm so sorry, but make sure to link it below. I feel like I can't talk today. I'm sorry. I think it's because I'm trying to hurry. I'm supposed to be going to get my nails done today with my sister at 10:30, and it's like, okay, I gotta get this done fast, quick. And now I'm like stressing myself out. But anyways, moving on. We'll move on. We'll take a deep breath, and we shall continue. So the next question is, Renee asks, does your family get annoyed with you when you rearrange things and move things around in your home? For the most part, no. They don't really care. They're just like, ugh, mom's doing something crazy again. And for the most part, I don't really think that I don't really move like furniture around very much, but accessories and stuff like that I do. But I think the thing that really starts to annoy them after a while is if I don't get something done within like a day or two, because a lot of times I'll like drag all this stuff out and it'll get plopped on like one of the tables, like the dining room table or my kitchen table, and I'll kind of work off of the things that I think I want to use. So having that sit around, then I can't use the tables. And if it goes to like day 2, day 3, I think people start to get a little bit annoyed with that. But at the same time, they're like, whatever, and they just go to a different room. So for the most part, they're very supportive. They don't really care so much. The only time I really have any problems is if I am trying to film a room while people are home. Like if I try to film like a room tour or something like that on a weekend, I like say, this room's off limits, you can't come in here until I'm completely done filming and taking pictures. You're not allowed in this room. And then that process of filming and taking pictures, oh man, the dogs are going crazy. Sometimes that process of filming and taking pictures sometimes takes a long time, especially because as I'm doing it, a lot of times I'm moving things around and I'm tweaking things and just getting the room ready to be photographed and you know, getting the room ready to be videoed or photographed in and of itself takes its own time. So even if the room's already decorated, you got to make sure that everything's where you want it, and then sometimes you're changing stuff around as you're taking pictures. So the whole process takes a long time, and I think that is the one thing that annoys the family. It's like, I just want to sit on the couch. And I'm like, I haven't taken the photos yet. I've only taken the videos. You can't come in here. So yeah, that is something I think they get a little perturbed. But for the most part, I try to do it when they're out of the house, like when they're at school or whatever. So we don't run into that problem very often, but sometimes it's just inevitable. Especially when I was like trying to do my Christmas tour stuff this year. It was like craziness. I kept filming the room and then forgetting to take pictures for the room. So then the next day I'd lose light, so I couldn't do anything about it until the next day. So then the next day the same room was off limits until the light got good enough, and then I could take pictures. And then I was like, okay, I'm finally done with this room. So it just seemed like it took forever. It was crazy times. But anyways. So yeah, for the most part they're very, very supportive. So the next question is from A Joyful Home, and she asks, what percentage would you say of your decor is thrifted? Also, can you come to Virginia and decorate my house? Oh, that would be fun. I would love that a lot. Yeah, wouldn't that be amazing? Just like pack up my trailer with a whole bunch of my truck and put a trailer on the back with a whole bunch of stuff and like go to road trip to Virginia. I would love that. I would love that a lot. So what percentage of my decor is thrifted? That's hard to say. I would say probably like about 75% of it is thrifted. I think when it comes to like furniture and stuff like that, it's hard to say. Like I could probably count on my hands what I bought at a store compared to what is from the thrift store. So majority of like my furniture and that sort of stuff is secondhand. There are a few things that we bought from like a regular store, but for the most part, once I started thrifting not long after we moved here, yeah, a lot of the stuff has come from thrift store. And majority of the items that I, you know, like the decorative items and that sort of stuff, like the non-essentials for my house, are basically thrifted or I've made. So I'd say 75% because I know there's some things that we have. I mean, there's probably a decent 10% of what we bought that we have in our house for a decor wise is bought from a store. But I would say the rest of that chunk is things that I've made because I love to make things for my house, like, you know, the curtains, pillow covers. I've made tables. I've made shelves. What else have I made? I can't remember. I made my headboard, benches. You know, there's a lot of things that I make, or cubbies for the wall. And then we built some built-in beds for my children's room. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that we've made for the house based on, you know, things I wanted to do or have seen, but like I'm not going to ever find that, so I need to remake it my own way. So a lot of that is what happens. If I don't find it at the thrift store, it's something I'll make, and if I can't make it, then we'll buy it, if that makes sense. But most of the time, I will try to either make it myself or find it at the thrift store, or revamp something from the thrift store to make it look like something that I wanted, if that makes sense. So yeah, I would say 75% is definitely from the thrift store. And it may be more than that, but yeah, a lot of it. I mean, majority of everything I buy. Yeah. Majority of everything I buy is from the thrift store when it comes to decorating. Alright, so Eve says, please show us your cute puppy more often. A cute puppy is adorable. I love our puppy Finn, and he is super adorable. Now he shows up in my Monday vlogs every week, my weekly family vlogs that I post on Mondays. He will show up. Oh, here's Mr. Finn right now. Aren't you adorable? Yes. So this is Mr. Finn. Oh, are you going to chew on me? Here, look over here. Look over here. Yeah. Mr. Finn here will show up. Okay, honey, you're getting my hair. It shows up a lot in the weekly vlogs because he's always adorable. He's not going to want to show you. Here we go. There he is. So there's Mr. Finn, and we love him so much. We've had Mr. Finn for about a month now, and we love him so much. He's rather shy, aren't you? Yes, you're going to give me kisses? Oh, yes. So that is Finn. So if you want to see him, I see you'll start watching the weekly vlogs. He's there also, though, a lot of the times. I have a lot of video on him. He's almost on daily. He's on probably more than the kids at this point because he's brand new to us. So anyways, yes, and also Instagram. I share a lot of him on Instagram. But, so we've had Mr. Finn for a month. And if you haven't watched this week's Monday weekly vlog, I have a surprise for you. Hold on. Come here. Oh. This is our new puppy. We decided to get this little guy, and this little puppy is called Rima. We just picked her up this past Saturday. So she is very new to our house. Less than a week old for us. So here, can you stand up and show yourself? Oh, look at me, aren't I so cute? She is 14 weeks old, and she gets along with Mr. Finn so well. It is like a perfect fit right away. They are now best buds, and we could not be more happy with our two little puppies, huh? Yeah. So, the Miss Rama will show up a lot this next coming week too, because it's our first Rama. I always say her name wrong. Her name is Rama. Yeah. So anyways, so this is our newest addition to the family, and it has been a pretty crazy thing for us because, here, I'll let her down. There you go. It's been pretty crazy for us because we have always been a one-dog family. So to have 2 dogs and 2 puppies is pretty crazy. So Rayma is 14 months old, or not 14 months, 14 weeks. And Finn
is 4 months.
We got him at 4 months, so he'll be 5 months now.
Okay.
Right? Yeah, so Mr. Finn is 5 months old now. So there's a nice little balance, and we have one boy and one girl. And they are just, they love each other, and it's so awesome. They're constantly getting into stuff, and they're constantly like wrestling with each other. If they're not wrestling, they're sleeping or chewing on a bone and making the other one jealous. That is how we roll around here. Alright, so the next question is from Allison, and this was from the video How I've Styled This Month's Thrift Store Finds. And Allison says, I want to make something or buy a shoe storage cabinet of some sort to hide the shoes we have piled up near the front door. They won't all fit in a bench with cubbies. What would you recommend? Well, if you already have a bench with cubbies, this is what I would do, is limit the amount of shoes that everyone keeps at the front door. This is what I've had to do because shoes, we have 5 family members and we have a ton of shoes. So I let everyone, I let everyone keep 2 pairs of shoes by the front door. Anything else gets stored in their room and they take out when they want to use them, and when they are done using them, they go back to their room. It works pretty well with us right now because normally we'll all keep a pair of sandals and a pair of tennis shoes, you know, by the front door. Another option would be just to keep shoes that you go out the front door with there. Other shoes, like if you go to have shoes that you go directly out to the backyard with, keep those by the back door. That might help with that also. One thing I've done for my, if you have a, also if you have a cubby space, if you already have like a cubby bench, or you know, if you already have a bench with the cubbies in it, and you're still running out of space and don't want to keep them other places in the house, think about maybe instead of using the bench to sit on to put your shoes, put a couple bins up there on that bench area to hold the extra shoes that you don't use on a regular basis. Another idea is if you have a, you know, your traditional closet that you have by an entry door. We have a small teeny tiny closet that you can touch with both hands. And I took the closet door off of it and then put the little cubby down underneath in the bottom, and then I actually added an extra shelf on top of the existing shelf that was there, just about, you know, 4 or 5 inches up. So then we have a real narrow shelf, and then your taller shelf you can put bigger stuff in, and that's another row of shoes. So that's another idea that you could use to hold shoes that you normally use all the time. If you don't already have a bench with the cubbies in it, I don't find that, I wish I wouldn't have bought the cubby shelf that I have, because I don't think that they hold very many shoes. I think just like maybe one of those shoe stacker shelves that have, you know, like the 2 shelves, you can put a row of shoes on the floor and then a row of shoes above it, would probably be enough that you could stick that into the back of the closet or in your entryway, and that would probably hold enough for, you know, family of 5, 2 pairs of shoes each. The rest you go into an overflow area into like a big basket. I have a large oversized wire like crate that I keep on top of my shoe shelf in my closet, and that's where everyone's extra shoes go into that they want for that season. Like especially in wintertime when you got like boots and stuff like that, boots take up so much more space. So we'll throw our extra shoes in there, but most of the time I try to make sure that they keep them in different rooms, because seriously, for kids, they pretty much wear the same shoes like almost every single day. Adults will probably change up their shoes a little bit more, especially if you work outside of the home. I can see where, you know, shoes could really become a problem because you want them to match your outfit all the time. So yeah, I would definitely keep them out of the entryway and just keep your favorites that you use most in the entryway. Hopefully that helps. It's the only thing I could really come up with, because there really isn't very many like good storage solutions for like a lot of shoes. yeah, I don't know. Otherwise, you know, another thing I've seen people do also is those little benches that have the lift up lids that has, you know, kind of like those toy boxes of the olden days where you got the lid lifts up and you got the big open space underneath. That would be a good solution also for shoes. I mean, just throw the shoes in there, close the lid, and then you can't see the big old mess. And then everyone just has one pair of shoe out of the bench. That would be another idea. And then if you wanted to, you could use the top of the bench for little bins for everybody too. So there's a lot of different options. Just figuring out what you want and how cluttered you want it to the area to look. Streamlining it to a couple pairs of shoes per person will really help with the clutter look. But then once you start adding the bins and stuff for everybody, that's going to add to the cluttered look. So really just the best solution, I think, is to limit the amount of shoes that you're allowed to have. So anyways, hopefully that answers your question, Allison. So the next question is from Farine 1, and this was on the Another Puppy vlog. This was last Monday's vlog that I shared. And she asked, can you tell me how you apply your powder foundation? Do you use a brush or a sponge? I've just ordered some. Sorry, I can't read. So basically what we're talking about is this Neutrogena Mineral Shears Powder Foundation, which I shared in my, also how I've styled like my thrift store finds. I had two monthly favorites that I also shared in that video. So the powder, this is the powder foundation that I'm talking about, and it doesn't matter which powder foundation I've ever used. I always like to use like these little brushes that have the really short, kind of rounded kabuki brush, I guess is what you call it. Another option would be this right here, which is a flat top kabuki brush, which I used before I discovered this brush. Now this brush is actually a pretty good brush. It is by e.l.f. and they call it their flat top kabuki. It's got, you know, pretty stiff bristles. Let's see if we can see it. You can see it better over there? I'm not sure. And this is like, I think in their $3 range. It is a really good brush. And it does a really good job with the powder foundations. And they have them in a couple different styles, like brush styles. But this is like their basic one, and it costs $3, and it's pretty good. The other one that I found more recently is this brush here. So I've replaced this kabuki brush with this rounded kabuki brush. I don't know if you can see it. There you go. You can probably see it a little better. I love this brush a little bit more, and this one I picked up at Target. It is the Up and Up brand brushes, and I believe it's called the Rounded Top Kabuki, but I'm not real sure. They only have one like this, so it'll be pretty easy to pick out. But I love this brush because the bristles are only maybe about an inch long. They're nice and dense. They have a nice rounded shape to it. And I just love this. I think the powder foundation goes on really nicely with this brush. And basically it just dip into a swirl, and then I, you know, kind of work in circle motions all over my face. I start at my forehead, do one side, do the other side, and then bring it down my neck just a teeny tiny bit. This thing is amazing. I think I paid, I can't remember. It was under $10. I want to say it was more like $6, but it's been a couple of years since I've had it. And this brush has been perfect. I know that It Cosmetics has something very similar to this. I don't know that e.l.f. does. I know they sell e.l.f. brushes at Target also. But yeah, I don't know. I've seen similar brushes at like Sephora and stuff like that. I have not tried those because I found this one and I absolutely love it. So I think it's a great brush, and it's a great price point also. So, alright, that is it for me today. Thank you so much for stopping by and for hanging out for me. And of course, if you have any decorating questions or any other questions in general, leave them in the comments below and I will do my very best to answer them next Wednesday. Alright, we will see you later. Bye now.